So Singleton Week continues, and today we have Tribunal. Now, being that this is a 75 card Singleton list, it is quite extensive, pretty long. So again, if you want to pause, this is what it currently looks like on screen. And then I'm going to go ahead and scroll down so that you can see the next part. And then if you're, again, kind of like wondering what's hiding down here, right? It's Dark Guardian, Dark Rebirth, Galen, Grizzly Gourmet, and Endoro Mastermind. And just like I have been for all of these, there will be a deck code in the description if you want to play something for fun. These are not really meant to be competitive, even if I am playing them on the ladder. It's not because I think that they're going to be, destroying things, but they are a lot of fun. So we're going to do what we've been doing, which is just dive right in and play 2 games, win or lose, with a goal of going 1-1, because I think if you can go 50-50 with Singleton decks on the ladder, then you're probably doing okay. I mean, if I'm being honest, you could probably play a good Singleton deck that wasn't just like built on memes and fun at, like a 60, maybe even a 65% win rate if you really wanted to, but... Alright, so right out of the gate we're up against Sorcerer. I think we're going to keep these. So Sorcerer is typically a bad matchup for most Singleton decks, so we have our work cut out for us here. It's also apparently really popular as of late. I don't know why, but I've been seeing an awful lot of Sorcerer and an awful lot of Doomcrag Warrior as of late. I just don't know, did somebody stream something? Did somebody release a list on Legends decks or Test Legends Pro? It's important to hydrate, guys. Yeah, I just don't know. Well, that's not great for us. Simply because we want to develop Lawkeeper to try to contest, but with them having a dagger from this, it would chew right through it. So unless we top deck something that's extra spicy, we actually might just develop this Masterwork and then pray. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the case, because that allows us to at least maybe Reverberating Strike and Lawkeeper next turn. Again, Lawkeeper's just gonna get chewed up, but it's really important that we do something. Well, okay, now our plans have likely shifted simply because we want to edict this, and then we will go from there. Yeah, again, Sorcerer is just not a great matchup for Singleton decks. It's very hard to answer their threats 1-for-1 or in groups when your deck is not nearly as consistent as theirs. Theirs is theirs. Apparently I'm inventing words while I wait for my opponent to kill me. Ew. That is not ideal.
Don't underestimate me.
And probably game, if I'm being honest. I'm not sure at this point like what you do to effectively get out of this. We were really dependent on the cost reduction for us to start getting value out of any of these. I mean, technically I can play this as a 3/3 Drain Guard, which would soak at best the Hunting Spirit. I mean, I could play Iron and get the Edict back, but then I'm gonna take a ton of damage. I mean, that still ends up being the best play, but I'm going to take a ton of damage. Likely also end up dealing with overdrawing here. Man, Sorcerer is so annoying to deal with. And I say this as, like, the Sorcerer guy, right? Like, I understand that I did this to myself. I can't be a big advocate for playing Sorcerer all the time and not expect to run into it, but it's a really bad matchup for most Singleton decks. We're in a position now where like not even Ice Storm saves us very well, unless they play like a 2-drop and a 3-drop, that would also both die to Ice Storm. And we have to top deck Ice Storm and not have it get burned. And have the Iron survive so that I can trade it into the Shadow Pen. But it would appear that none of that is happening. Oh, well. So that was a really good roll for them. They're going to take the lethal trade there. Nice and easy.
You cannot.
We're going to go to 11. And we still cannot very effectively deal with anything that is on the board. Not very effectively at all. So, I mean, we do have General Tullius to stall for a turn, but that doesn't do us a whole lot of good. But it is also the only, like, source of guards in that regard. We could also Reverberating strike this, and then wherever it lands, throw Cool Lawkeeper in front of it. And hope they don't have, like, silences on that level. Which might end up being our best option, and then try to edict it the whatever it landed on the next turn, but then we're still taking 4, 8 plus whatever they play. 'Twas not good for us. Might have been able to catch up if the Masterwork didn't get blown up. Being able to play like 3 cards here as opposed to 2 cards is a big difference. So we're going to go ahead and nuke this, and I suppose play the Lawkeeper. But we go down to a minimum of 7, assuming they don't have another silence, in which case we just lose.
I have you now.
And then even still, we probably lose if we don't get like Piercing Javelin very specifically as our prophecy here. Well, it's not a Piercing Javelin, but it's the second best prophecy we probably could have gotten there. That's still a big troll, though. And we still do not have a good way to deal with really any of this.
Nicely done.
So like we can play Galen. None of this is. I mean, we're just dead, right? Have they played a? Yeah, they played a Crown Quartermaster, so they have the dagger still. So I guess it doesn't matter what we play, but in theory,
I will keep Sothasil's people alive.
In theory, this is probably the best plan of action, so that we can, if we're not magically dead, if we catch another prophecy here, we could Arch Cannon and slap Drain and +1/+1 on that to trade, but we have to have a prophecy. We did not have a prophecy, so we are just dead.
This was a worthy contest.
Alright. We'll go on to game 2. Sorcerer is just not a great matchup for us. I mean, listen, there's not anything that's actually a good matchup for Singleton. Like, I don't want it to sound like we're trying to prey on anything specific on the ladder, but Sorcerer and Aggro Warrior are probably the 2 absolute worst. Hey, look, it's Sorcerer again. I hope you guys like Sorcerer. And like people playing against Sorcerer. Alright, I guess we'll keep this. Yeah, this probably could have went back. This is a pretty questionable keep, actually. Putting more prophecies back in the deck is likely better every time. All right, we get another opportunity to try and survive against Sorcerer.
I smell the stench of the living.
All right, so they go with a Barrow Stalker. We answer with this, which will just eat this, but it's fine.
Careful there, friend.
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
And we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait to play this Firestorm because if they play like a Bleak Coast here, then Firestorm gets that down low enough where the 3 health then dies to the Ice Storm the following turn, which feels pretty important.
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
I mean, I guess you can say the same thing about Mammoth here, but we'll do that just to get the Mammoth health total down a bit. And then decide what we want to do from here.
I come bearing gifts.
Satanine, huh?
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
All right, we need. I was gonna say we need this to not be something with ward, but alas. It is. I mean, we still take it. We pull a lot of damage off the board, but we're not happy about it. The only potential saving grace, we do have Vivek, so if they don't have a silence, that could help us, but we've seen 0 silences from them, so the likelihood of them having a negation or like a Shadowfen Priest is still pretty high. There's the tome. Like I expected. Wow, and a Seda. Okay. They're just punching right in the face. Over and over and over again. What we would like to do is top deck our own negation, except for we're gonna run the risk of overdrawing. Because it would have been nice to play this and a negation. Because I have a feeling there's something very, very good here. But if we can even play this next turn and try to dodge on Kano, that might be great. I mean, the other option is instead just playing 2 guards in front of this. Because that does allow us to ramp as well, as opposed to the cast into time and then nothing else, so...
The waters of
I've changed my plan of action here. They'd have to have 2 cards that were removal. So we'll go with this path. Have cast into time, we have the Death Priest. What we really need is like something that gains life that we can start pairing with Doppelganger and the Dragon Priest and this. You know, like a Mordecai would be a really good pickup for obvious reasons, but...
I keep a spare blade in my boot.
They're gonna make me wish that I had another Ice Storm. Oh, and the Sada's gonna poke me, huh? Hey, that is something that gains life. So... what we're gonna do is do this,
if they don't want
and then
trouble.
we do have the other triggers, but for now, I think we're just gonna go ahead and do this, just to pull the most damage off the board. This can potentially trade here, and then next turn we're looking at maybe Doppelganger and Death Priest. The problem is we didn't get to play this turn, so if they have Ankano can come online here, but... It was a risk that I think we had to take as far as the health gain. There's a priest.
I abhor violence.
Don't underestimate me. We draw power from their blood.
Okay. I understand now.
I did warn them.
So... Doppelganger and Death Priest does still feel likely correct. Iron would get back either Firestorm or Ice Storm. Should be moderately beneficial, but I think gaining health is important. And let's do this as well. There's the Ankano.
Nicely done.
There's the Uncano that we were worried about. So that does prove to end up being worth our ring charge.
I slay the unworthy.
Them getting raised dead is not great for us. So they can get us down to what, 4 here? And then with lightning bolt, that is lethal.
You will feed my clan.
Alright. So we
I
are
did warn them.
taking some
I
trades.
did warn them.
And then we're going to do the only thing that comes close to saving us, because we have no health gain.
Godhood is like juggling.
That would have pushed us through it anyway.
The faithful that hold back the darkness as I have written.
Friend.
And we're going to do that just to also protect it from damage. Now, if they have silence, we just lose anyway, so there's nothing we can do about that, but... We're dead to Shadowfen Priest and Negation. And we've unfortunately only seen one Priest, and we've seen no Negation. Now they are very smartly going to put us at negative here.
Should have been more worthy.
And we need to find Mordecai, because that would essentially
Your lard-blooded footfalls betray you.
get us back on track. That is not Mordecai, but it is maybe a source of long-term health gain.
We fight for the glory of lost
We're gonna do this. Alright, that got us cast into time, huh?
Your blood
So this can
will
trade
flow.
here. I guess this will come down
There's
here.
always a plan.
We can cast this, hit this, and I guess hit this.
Of a living
And then again, we're just praying for no negation top deck, no silence top deck, so that we can start trying to gain health. Oh gods. Oh no. Oh no.
Confound it!
So they rightfully put damage there. And then they play that. Alright, so we need what? Mordecai still bails us out pretty well. Reverberating Strike, not so much. We need to gain health. We have Ice Storm, Cast into Time, and Firestorm still. Cast into Time, getting back to nuke that would be very beneficial. So I was contemplating what we could do with this, because we also would potentially eat here. I think this is okay. Ice Storm sadly does not help us, and they appear to have a lightning bolt, because if they had a negation they would have used it, and they don't have a creature. So that does actually tell us quite a bit about what our opponent is up to. It's actually a problem. With this here and no way to protect Vivek, they can kill Vivek 100% this turn. It is very problematic.
History shall remember this day.
So this is the only way that we can try to keep Vivek alive. Because if we know that this is a lightning bolt, then we have to do that. And again, we're hunting for Mordecai here. This is gonna go straight into Vivek. Oh, interesting. They leave their option open and they just go further negative.
They've no move.
We're gonna
we
do
can't
this.
Anticipate.
This will at least help buy us some time. So we can reverb here
You've not seen my light.
and catch the sleigh here. So again, we're just trying to draw Mordecai or Laneth or anything before they find a silence. At some point, I actually might just need to start attacking. Oh, they have the negation. Alright, well, we tried. Sorry, gang. I just can't beat Sorcerer with Singleton decks. It's just not something that you can do, I think. Part of me wants to play one more, but I think we're just going to call it and move on to Telvanni Singleton will be the next video tomorrow. So if you made it this far, sorry. I wanted to go at least 1-1 each of these days, but I didn't do it today. Sorcerer is too strong. And if you follow this channel, you should know that I'm an advocate of Sorcerer. So anyway, thanks for watching, and until next time, may you walk on warm sands.